Hi, my name is Vanessa. I'm with the Hobby Studio here at Fort Riley. Today I wanted to kind of go over a little bit of basics of watercolor, and I thought we would start off with a drawing of a betta fish. The betta fish are the ones that they have the long little tendrils, and you can see them at all the pet stores. They're really cool. So to start off with, we're going to start off with a skinny mechanical pencil, 0.7 lead preferable, and we're going to go in with a really light hand. So you don't have to draw the whole entire betta fish because some of it's very abstract. So I'm just going to lightly go in and kind of make the shape of the body. So this is the head of the fish. The body kind of circles down over here where the tail starts. So this is the body. You can kind of make basic shapes of where the fins, I think that's the dorsal fin, and the pectoral fins, whatever. I'm not a fish person, I just think they look very nice. And then we're gonna do the tail, just very lightly. And if you go in too dark, you can always just erase a little bit, just kind of go over. But yeah, this is a good basic drawing. And so you're gonna take whichever brush you have on hand. It doesn't specifically have to be for watercolor. And you're just gonna wet the area where you want to put color first. So I'm gonna wet the body, and I'm gonna go in with my watercolor. My palette's kind of messy, but you can do solid watercolors, like the Crayola brand watercolors for kids are really better quality for an affordable price, or whatever you have. Sometimes even food coloring works if you wanted to do that. So I'm gonna go in with a pink, a reddish pink, because I like that color. I think it's really cute. And you see where the water is, it kind of spreads the color automatically for you. And so when you do watercolor, you're gonna wanna do it in layers. So we're just putting down our first base layer real quick. And so I'm just gonna go in and kind of abstractly map out. Oh, excuse my pug, he's a crybaby. But yeah, we're just gonna map out. And you're gonna get more water as needed. So if you're not liking the way these lines are, if they're too harsh for you, you can just add more water. And the transparency, they get more transparent the more water you add. So I'm kind of just going back and forth with my color and my water, just kind of blending. And it doesn't have to be perfect, because once this dries down, we're gonna be able to add more colors. Do the tail fin. These are really fun, and it's really fun to do with kids too, because it's not super hard. It's not like a really representational fish where you have to add every scale. It's kind of very free-flowing. So here we go. And if you want to add a different color while it's still wet, you 100% can do that, but just make sure you choose a color that's closer to it on the color wheel. If it's so this is pink, but it's red based. If I were to add green, it would turn brown. So since it's more of a red violet, I'm gonna add, let's say, a purple. And if that blends together, it's not gonna harm the color. It's just kind of gonna add a little darker of a tinge. And so you can just keep going back and forth. The more pigment you get on your brush, the darker it'll be. So if I touch here, and then you can push that around, spread it out, get more water. And you have a cute little betta fish. And you can go back and forth with your colors too. So if I want more pink, I can go in with more pink. And it's a pretty cool effect, kind of tie-dye. And yeah, this is some of the basics. You can do this with like any shape you want though. It doesn't have to be a betta fish. And if you wait for it to dry, you can layer more colors over it. That's the cool thing about watercolor, is it's really transparent, and the more layers you add, the more dynamic it looks. So I think I'm kind of liking this tie-dye fish, but I want to add a darker purple. I liked the way that looked, so I'm gonna just do that. And you can kind of just let it bleed and just pull it up. And so if you want to wait in between colors, you can. And if you want to drop in a background, that would be cool too. Just be careful and wait for it to dry, because colors will bleed together if it's still wet. And yeah, that's pretty much all the basics. You can add little bubbles for your fish if you want. You can make a whole kind of background, or you can leave it as is, but this one's pretty fun. And you can choose whatever colors you want. Just be careful, like I said. Some colors do turn brown when they're mixed together. So I hope you found that informative, and I will hope to see you next time.